Click, click, pole to rock in a never-ending spiral of rocks that line the dry stream bed. Darkness descends as we wonder whether we will get out of the stream bed before dark. Just as darkness descends, we reach our campsite for the night. We have been walking for almost 17 hours. We must register. Vernon buys us beers. This is the first stop to offer them. We find our way to our tents where we eat in a sense of stupor. Then it is in the sleeping bag, and I fall quickly to sleep. Saturday, March 19th. We awake, have breakfast, and are treated to a farewell serenade by the porters. The joy of the music lifts our spirits as we enter the rainforest. This time we descend giant steps to ease the elevation. Rain begins to fall in a rushing torrent. We no longer put on our rain gear, but just let ourselves get wet. Last, we reach the end of the path where we get in our vehicle along with the porters for a ride down through the torrential rain and muddy flow to the station where we check out. We get back in our vehicle and return to our hotel where we enjoy our first shower in a week. It feels good. We do a little shopping from street vendors. Some of us did a lot of shopping from street vendors, and from interesting shops with the help of Stanford and Francis. Then we turn to the restaurant where we receive our certificates attesting to our having reached the top. 100% made it. 3:20, Sunday. We have breakfast at the cottages and meet Salem, our guide for the next leg of the adventure, the safari. We say goodbye to Bob, who is leaving us. Put our things in Salem's Toyota Land Cruiser with steel-reinforced walls built to stop an elephant charge. We drive through Arusha into the west through the game preserves. At last we come to Lake Manyara National Park Preserve, our first safari adventure. A small park, it is a gem, near Mosquito Town. Baboons greet us at the gate, and then we are off. The top pops up so we can see better. Blue monkeys, zebras, hippos, mongoose, giraffes, and many elephants. We take a number of photos before we leave as dusk approaches and proceed to our lodgings for the evening. A tent hotel at the top of a rise overlooking the park and Mosquito Town next door. Our accommodations are tents with all amenities, a gorgeous view. We have a pleasant dinner as native singers entertain us. The rhythm of the songs first heard in the camp when serenaded by the porters come back. Da-da, da-da-da-da. After dinner, we retire. Mosquitoes drive us under mosquito netting provided for the beds. Monday, March 21. In the morning, we go for a walk with Sayonga, a Maasai who takes Bill and I on a nature cultural walk. He is a representative of the warm and gracious people of the Maasai and Chaga tribes, the latter being those living in Moshi. I should add that Chaga like Coke and Maasai like Pepsi. Maasai are herders and Chaga are farmers, and there are more Christian Chagas than there are Maasai. We return to the hotel and pack up to leave. We're now going to the Ngorongoro crater, a Garden of Eden 14 miles across, encased by high walls of an extinct volcano. Down we go. The floor of the volcano is teeming with wildlife: hyenas, buffalo, gazelle, wildebeest, lions, elephants, rhinos, all we see and many others. We stop for lunch at one of the rest stops in the park. Coming to this area, we've seen a large male lion along the road. We look to the restrooms where we had just relieved ourselves to see the lion sitting outside the ladies' room in the shade of an overhang. Two women begin to leave and suddenly saw the lion. They quickly close the door. Eventually they are extricated, but the lion doesn't move. Back in the Jeep, or I should say Toyota, our guide shows us the teeming wildlife in the crater: ostrich, warthogs, hippos. We come upon the decaying corpse of a water buffalo being devoured by hyenas. I had no idea their teeth were so sharp. Vultures wait for seconds if there are any to be had. The next day I will photograph the area right clean of the buffalo. We spend the whole day on the floor, and at the end of the day proceed up a winding road built by the Germans in the 1920s on the route of an old animal trail. It is really a scary ride, and one that we will repeat the next day. We go to our next hotel. Our room overlooks the crater and is 100% modern. Dinner is with a very American menu in the nice dining room. We get the impression this is some kind of country club dinner, but entirely different atmosphere. We go to bed in comfortable surroundings. Tuesday, March 22nd, we awake to a spectacular buffet breakfast. Off to the crater today. We drive for several hours before returning to the airport. It is a long ride to the airport. I now write at the airport getting ready to leave Africa. I have a new appreciation of the country and the people. The African people are friendly, caring, interesting. I found myself to be a most fortunate person. With a wife who encouraged me to go, children and grandchildren who have likewise caused me to make this achievement happen, the people on the trip, and 3 people who helped make it happen. And it's interesting to note that at the end, on my last leg of this trip, I sat next to a lady who's a member of the Arusha Rotary Club. We had a wonderful talk about Rotary and how much Rotary meant to her and the people of Africa. I would, before I put this DVD on, and you can just dream along with it, Mr. President, I present you with the flags that have in fact been to the top of Africa. You gave these to me, and I have done what I said I would do, and they have been there. Tony?
Thank you for that.
We can go ahead and show the DVD, and then you can dream along with it. It's not very long.